Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Torino Diaries. It's episode 7. And Torino are still chasing Juventus. We have a game in hand on them, and the gap is 58-66. It's 8 points. And we have a lot of work to do to catch up with them. It's not helping that I've been changing tactics around, but I seem to have settled on something. Yeah, against Lazio, we used this system, which is 4-3-3. Then watch what I did in the next game against Genoa. Was another system, this 4-3-3. And then I was thinking to myself, I can't keep doing this all the time, right? Against Milan, I used this 4-3-3, which I turned it into a kind of like a Route 1 football tactic. So basically, I was just pumping balls from Padelli up front. Okay, then we have finally I've decided, okay, that's it, I've got to settle on something, and I'm going back to my 4-3-1-2. Essentially because the whole tactic was designed around Valdifiori, who's injured, and because Valdifiori is injured, I thought, well, I should try something else, but as it turns out, it's not really a smart thing to do. My team is going to take a longer time to get used to the tactics, and if I keep messing about, I can change roles and duties within the system, but I shouldn't be changing tactics around. So I've decided I'm going to stick to this, and we're going to do our best with this tactic, because in the long run, I plan to use something like this for the future for the side, because I do like 4-3-1-2 tactics by nature, and I plan to keep using this until I get bored. Naturally, I will mess with other tactics as I go, when I feel like it. I tend to enjoy the game too much, so I like to change things around. And I'm sure it'll help other people as well who have other tactics. So if you have a tactic you want to try and you think that you need help, just pop it up. I'll try and create one and then see how I would play with that tactic. Does it sound like a plan? So what you can do is you can send me a request and say, look, I've got this issue, I want to make this tactic, it doesn't seem to work for me. Can you do one? And I'll do it on the next show. I'll use it with a team, and then I'll ask you what you thought about it. That may be an approach I can do. It's a very risky approach, because that means I'll be changing tactics with Torino, and that is not something that's nice to do with your long-term save, is it? I could just screw things up. That's not nice. But let's get back to my team one more time. So what and why am I doing what I'm doing? Okay, so I know that I've got Pucciarelli in for his AM per C position, so he's sorted, so I know I can play him there. I've got another striker in Dionisi, so that's sorted. In the midfield, that is where my problem lies, because the 4-3-1-2 really depends on these three jokers doing their job, right? And especially Obi and Pacelli. They're both support players. They are critical in transitions. And Molinaro has to end up here to support the attack. And Obi has to drop in here to this hole to defend. So these are the things I have to look for in support duties. And yeah, I'm going to put Marco Capuano in. I kind of like him. Then up front, we shall keep the combination. Bernazzi is a tackler and a passer, OB. So I want to put players with higher work rates on the flanks. So Bernazzi's work rate is 15. Baselli's work rate is, wow, Baselli is coming along very nicely. Look at his training. Look at him go. Wow, so many green arrows shooting up. He must be having the time of his life. Okay, so he is playing on the right flank. And then we've got Obi now. Obi is a mystery right now to me. Okay, he is a so-so player. He's not bad. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do with him. His marking isn't very good. And his concentration is 11, his decisions is 11. He's like a 50-50 player. And so I'm going to have to put in Mr. Bianco, who I got in the transfer window. He's not very different as well. Except there's one thing that's slight difference between him and our friend there, is that he has got slightly better numbers in decision making, in determination, and bravery and composure. So in the middle, he might just be a better option. So these are the players that are going to take to the pitch. Now, some people have been talking about jadedness and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he can play a big thing, but 58% match sharpness, he might not be sharp. Well, I'll play him anyway. You look at this, I've got 55%. This guy should be playing in the reserves, but I haven't bothered. So, yeah, I should logically be doing that. These are the only 11 that matter to me. So we will try and get the others rotated in this match, and I'll definitely have to start looking at my reserves, getting some of these players to play in reserve matches, because I have been pushing through this game really quickly and not paying attention to the minute details, which you should be doing as well. So I'm a bad example. Okay, so here we go. Our match is gonna be against Atalanta. They're coming to visit us in our nice little, tiny little stadium. Okay, so here we go. Atalanta is actually playing with a deep 3-4-3. So I'm going to have to make one or two slight changes. Not major, just small little changes. First thing, Molinaro hasn't been playing a lot of games, so his match conditioning is about 58%. So we'll tell him to be on support. There's no need to bomb forward. Let's see what we can do. So we'll play on control, flexible, not structured, so we get more players involved. Naturally, this affects my familiarity. In terms of instructions, we'll play the same way. I'll have a normal D-line. I won't go too high up. So that's the situation. That's what we're going to set ourselves up to do in this match. So we'll start the match. The weather, it's just the weather. It's not the end of the day. Here we go, Belotti with the ball, passes it back to Pucciarelli. Here I'm going to be looking at two things. Support from my players. Those players that are on support duties, they shouldn't be very far away from Pucciarelli during this transition, because this is the lead up to the attacking transition from midfield when he plays the ball. So I'm looking at this guy, Molinaro, bombing forward. I'm going to look at this guy. He's not going to make a real attacking move unless somebody's going to try and pass the ball in this zone over here. So once it comes here, I'm going to start looking at this player, this Sylvester, to make his move. He's already made the move. It's gone back. So this transition hasn't fully gone into an attacking transition. So it's this Sylvester will be positioned here, Molinaro will be positioned here, and my two support players will be here. Pucciarelli to Dionisi. Now once it goes into this attacking transition, we shall see. And fortunately, nothing really much happened, and that was the end of the highlight. If I want to see more, I'll have to go on comprehensive. So let's go on comprehensive to see transitions a bit more clearly. Okay, so they've got a free kick on comprehensive. Zukanovic with the free kick. Takes it. Joe Hart's in goal, right? Shit, I made a mistake. Should have been Padelli again. Alright, so Gomez attacks the ball. Benazzi reads the pass really well. That means that my D-line is quite good. Dionisi with the ball. Passes it back to Bianco, who's got a yellow card already. Bianisi to Pucciarelli. Bazzelli shoots from range. Okay, what ball into box is being used? Okay. Tono with the throw. Gomez takes it down. Gets into the box. Shot is blocked. D'Alessandro shoots. It's only wide. Joe Hart with the goal kick. To Capuano. To Wallace. Plays a simple pass to Benazzi. Pucciarelli. His touch was poor. Okay. Benazzi hits it down to D'Alessandro. This is on comprehensive, so I'm not really very happy with what's going on at the moment. Di Silvestre. Gomez. Back to Tono. To Levicki. Back to Tono. What a passing move from Atalanta. The 3-4-3 is definitely either flexible or fluid. I love this 3-4-3 that they're using. Wallace clears the danger. Pucciarelli can't win the ball against Grazzi. Joe Hart takes that really well. Okay. We'll have to start thinking about what we can do. Molinaro. Bonezzi. To Pucciarelli shoots. That's sad and wide. So I'll be looking at transitions throughout the game now. Pucciarelli, he's tackled. So that's enough. Now I go to key highlights. Just way too many highlights for me to bother with. Bianco boots it up to Belotti, takes it down really well. He's making a run for it. Belotti dribbles past 1, 2 and shoots. The goalkeeper cannot handle that blistering shot. Benazzi with the corner. Wallace forcing the keeper to do some work, but it's just over. Lion's share of the possession belongs to Torino. Pucciarelli with the corner. Ball goes up. Pucciarelli. Oh, he could not win the loose ball. Second ball, he didn't win. Okay, well, defending was a bit. The players are, yeah, they're not playing very well. So I think it's rather the system at the moment. Their first touch as well. Pucciarelli just tries too much to dribble. Baselli, Dionisi to Benazzi. Benazzi will pass it back to Bianco. Bianco to Benazzi to Pucciarelli. Pucciarelli shoots from there. Oh, he scores finally. Pucciarelli has scored from way out there. Okay. That settled me down a bit because I thought I had to go and watch comprehensive highlights again. Benazzi to Pucciarelli. The keeper should have done a lot better with that shot. Okay, I'm looking at certain players right now. Pucciarelli is not injured, so I don't have much choice. Okay, so what I have to do right now is make some changes, but who do I bring on? I don't have another MC. This is bad news for me. We got Joel Obi. Okay, we'll bring on Joel Obi. Alright, and swap Baselli for Joel Obi. That's one option. Okay, Baselli will push up higher. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Now, my first concern is what Atalanta are going to be doing straight away. You can see Atalanta will probably change their mentality pretty soon. 3-4-3 DM White is still playing a defensive system. Obi with the corner. Ball goes up. Wallace. Oh, Wallace has scored some great goals. Belotti makes it 2. Okay, now we've taken the lead and we want to hold the lead. What is there anything that we should be doing right now? The first thing I'm going to start to look at is stats. They've only had 1 shot on target, 4. Now we have had the lion's share of possession. So is there anything I should be doing? Actually nothing. I should leave it the way we are playing and just keep the match going the same way. So there's no need to make any changes right now except for personnel. If I want to take off players, I'll probably take off Bianco, but I don't have another central midfielder. I did not want to play a fluid system. Oh, we've made it 3. I did not want to play a fluid system or anything that's higher on that shape levels because they are playing with a 4-3-4-3 with these 3 guys who can hit me on the counter. So anything that was fluid would have seen balls go over the top. So I had to choose something flexible or structured and not to allow my players to be in compromising positions. Oh, that's such a weird thing to say. But yeah, I wanted to also play with a normal D-line as well. I didn't want to push up my D-line. So that was okay for me. If I push up my D-line or I play with a fluid setting, then they would have been asking me trouble. Right now, they have to beat me with more than just those few players. So they have to actually bring others into play. And we have to have people like Capuano giving up goals. I don't think Capuano should be playing anymore for me. His case just, he had 1 good game and then he's made all sorts of mistakes after that. Capuano. What is Capuano doing? Capuano! Why you want to give them a goal? Capuano. He's capitulated to the opposition. We had a perfect 3-0 scoreline had it not been for Capuano. I got Bobo and I got Capuano. It's getting very annoying. Baselli back to Obi. The good thing is we can still play my 4-3-1-2 in the absence of Valdi Fiori because I have options. I can use Baselli, I can use Obi. Dionisi in the box shoots once. Oh, he could have. That would have been a great goal. That would have been a great goal. Now, please, Capuano, don't do something stupid. Poloski, what is Capuano doing? De Silvestre wins the header by someone other. You beauty, De Silvestre. Gives it to Dionisi, who will play a beautiful pass to Baselli. Baselli is now got the ball to Belotti. Belotti to Dionisi. Oh, I love this team, man, now. I like the way we play our 4-3-1-2. But they played off Leo Carmona. Because if a team is set up well, yeah, there is some logic in the fact that we may be able to control possession in certain areas of the pitch, but that's only because our players are on the right duty settings. And the thing is, if you can do it, so can the AI. So that's one thing for you to remember. So you have to have the right defensive line and the right players to close down passing lane options. So if you can do that to the AI, you probably win. So it's yeah, it's okay. So there we go. Torino have beaten Atalanta 3-1. And what I did at the start was to see how our transitions look. Our transitions didn't look too bad, but there's something that's become very clear to me. I still need a central defender. So Pucciarelli is now out for 4 to 12 days. Oh my goodness. The players keep getting injured. So we have Valdi Fiori out. Now we have Pucciarelli out. At the back now, we have another issue. Who am I going to play in my defense? So if I look at my defenders, there aren't a lot of defenders for me to pick from. So I'm going to have to start giving these guys some game time in other matches. So that's going to be very important. So what you can do is, let's see here, Cesaro squad available for under 20 squad until match fit for 60 minutes. This guy as well available for 60 minutes. So this is what you can do with them. Available until match fit for 25 minutes. Well, that game. One thing I've been reading on the forums, and I've read up with quite a lot of players, is they seem to have an issue, telling a transition. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go through what I do in a game to spot transitions. Now, the most important thing you have to bear in mind is when you start any game, look at your, you have to know what mentality and shape you're playing. So if you're playing a structured shape, you're going to have more wide open spaces, and you got a lot of things you can exploit. Now, and you see the way I play, if I want to push my players up, I might go fluid or very fluid, or I push up the defensive line. But when you do stuff like that, you have to be careful as well. If you push everybody to fluid, then you have to look at your back line. Is your back line having to run backwards all the time to face the goal because balls are being played over the top? If they are, then your defensive line is too high. So here in this particular case, when I start the game, do I look at the ball? No, I look at the players. I'm looking at this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. In a transition, I want to see that they are moving the ball up. Now here is where everything gets confusing for people. All right. When I start talking about final third transitions, middle third transitions, and defensive transitions, what do I mean? A football pitch is divided into 3 zones. We've got this whole zone from here to here is the final third. Final third. From this position to about here is what we call the middle third, and then you got then from there to the goal is the defensive third. So a football pitch is actually divided into 3 zones. When you move the ball around, you're effectively looking at how the ball moves from one zone to another zone. So if I'm looking at a transition, that's a zone, the ball moving from the midfield to the final third. So when you're looking at that aspect of the game, that's when you start looking for players to see whether they are popping into that zone. Who is popping in, who's going into support, and when the ball drops back, you're going to see who's coming back to defend. So here we got Belotti charging up. So this is still like the midfield transition because we haven't started to attack yet. The ball goes to Dionisi. At this point, we see this player charging up, this Sylvester. But the ball hasn't gone into the final third, as they haven't really started third and attacking transition. So this Silvestri is holding back because he's on support duty. He's not on attack duty. Because the ball is on this side of the pitch, we do not expect Molinaro to go bombing forward. Now, the reason why this is happening is because of a exploit I used to use in FM. A long time ago, I found an exploit in the game, which if I had the ball on this side, I would always try and encourage my play to be on this side of the pitch, and I have one attacking duty here so that this guy would just bomb down the flanks here, and all I need to do is pass the ball to him. That exploit has since been fixed, so you can't really do that anymore. But meanwhile, what we are looking at to see is, does this guy go up? Does this guy come up? He will come up if the ball is somewhere around here. So we're looking, the ball goes to Dionisi. This Silvestre actually does come up to support the play, but the highlight ends there. Now at this point, we are actually converting from defense to attack. So when this is a ball that goes from a defensive third into the middle third, this is an entire transition by itself. Now, whether or not Belotti holds up play is a function of 2 things: your shape, his duty, and his duty. If your shape is fluid, he will hold up the ball because the rest of the players are going to come. If he's on structured, chances are he's going to go bombing forward to try and do something with the ball. So if he has got a few more attacking duties with him, chances are he will do that and probably pass the ball to them. But it all depends on the player himself as well as teamwork, his work rate, his decisions, his vision, his determination, all that jazz. So Belotti gets the ball now, and he's off like a lightning bolt. Dionisi is not quick enough to keep up with it, and Pucciarelli is just too far away. So Belotti, chances are at this point in the game, he's just going to go forward because he doesn't have that hold up ball duty in his game. So he's going to go all the way, and then he's going to try zigzag and try and shoot a goal. That I expected him to do because of his duty and the shape that we are playing. At this point, we're not fluid. We are still flexible. So whenever I'm playing, I'm looking at how my players close down passing channels. Here, defensively, we look pretty good because all the channels are being covered. As you can see, all the channels were being covered really well. So at this point, I'm looking at my players defending. So I'm looking at passing channels, not necessarily them closing down. Here, Tono, all the passing channels are well covered. So the only passing possibility is Gomez or some kind of incredible ball that ends up over here. So it goes to Gomez. At this point, he's being marked pretty well by this guy. And it still looks pretty okay because we're doing quite well in terms of how we are holding up, marking players. The positioning is pretty good. Wallace is doing a good job. Capuano is not that bad either. Then at this point, disaster happens. Here, is it the tactic or the player? At this point in time, it's 100% the player. It's not the tactic. Because if we had a better player inside there, that would never have been a goal. So I know that there's nothing wrong with the tactic. There's something wrong with the player. So I've got a Capuano who capitulates. So when you're making any kind of a tactic, you're definitely going to start looking at transitions. You need to start looking at your own transitions in the final third, middle third, and defensive third. And see how your ball, or rather your players, move into those zones with the ball. And I hope that I've helped in some way for you to understand what I mean. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can always drop me a note at addictedtofm.com. Find me on the SI forums as Rashidi, or send me a tweet on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @busternet. I hope to hear from you guys again soon. Please drop me a note if you have any other questions. I will try and cover them in the show, and I will try and do a bit more of this. When people have an issue, I may even try, take a tactic for somebody they're having a problem and use it in a game. That sounds suicidal for me, but I'll just try and see what happens. But I hope you have had a good time on the show. Please take care. I'll catch up with you guys again soon.